right away.
Now, Metal says you've got some kind of background in shibari, right? Is that, weren't you going to mention something about that?
Well, I was going to ask you, your bondage is really an art form, and I was just wondering how you learned how to do that and who you might have been inspired by.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, shibari was really new. Nobody knew about shibari, and I bought a little computer, a little tiny computer, and I discovered on the web. I found these old ancient Japanese drawings of men getting tied up, and I go, wow, that's over 100 years ago, and it's making me hard. So
You better look into this.
I think it's timely, you know what I mean? It's something that would last. So I start kind of like train myself just by looking at these paintings, these drawings, and then slowly I'm beginning to get into like, finding, the people who are into it currently. But that was like 10 years ago, and just get together with them, and we did some practices and stuff like that. That's how I get started.
Wow. Another question?
Are there any porn stars that you haven't got your ropes on yet, but you'd like to?
How long is this interview?
Is this like the model call here?
I have like 200 on my list. The one I really want is Jeremy Walker. You know Jeremy Walker? Yeah, I like to have him. I want to get my hands on him.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's put that down.
Zeb Atlas. Who doesn't want to tie up Zeb Atlas? Just smack him around a little bit. Anybody else? Jason Adonis. Basically, these kind of guys are like the kind of guy that I see at the gym, and they're like, very unapproachable, very popular. So it doesn't have to be them, but it's anybody at the gym. Just go to your local gym and look at them. You see one or two, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, what are you doing here? You should be in a magazine or something. Muscular and boy next door type and very unapproachable.
Right.
I'm just like, I'm sitting there, and that's when my fantasies start rolling in my head, tying them up.
Now, what about Richard Hunter over at Mr. S? You want to tie him up? This is for Richard, by the way.
No, I think Richard's going to tie me up.
He can be a co-top or something, or he's going to tie you up.
He's going to tie me up. Yeah, that's Richard. He's very skilled with what he does.
He is.
Yes, and I have high respect for Richard.
That's good. Because if you don't, boy, you better look out. You could be there for a week instead of overnight.
He doesn't mess around.
He doesn't mess around.
Nope.
Got any other questions?
What's the creative process for you to make a movie? Because you do one every week, but do you start with the theme and story and then cast it with the actors, or do you pick the actors first and then come up with the story, or is it a little bit of both? How do you come about with these new concepts every week?
Well, there's several types of shoots that I do. One, yes, I think about the storyline and get it really elaborate kind of thing. So I start with that little bit of story in my head, and then. But nothing. I don't get into like really detail and storyboarding and everything because it's not going to happen until I see the model.
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
You talk to them first. So I can plan a million things, but then the morning I show up and I talk to the model,
You got to get a sense of the energy or something.
That ain't going to happen.
Their personality.
Yes.
And stuff, yeah.
So the minute I talk to the model, then I realize, okay, well, these are his limits. So then I can design a shoot around him. Basically, yeah. The thing is that we use a lot of models who are pretty new to BDSM, my thing is that I love to see people getting tied up for the first time. It's just
Isn't
it hard?
The newbies.
Or like just get corporal for the first time. You smack them a couple of times, they keep on looking at it. They make sure does that happen to you? Yeah. Keep on checking their ass.
The marks.
Yeah, is that getting? They really know how to process the mark. Is that good or bad? I'm not sure, but I'm keep on looking at it. I think that's hot. I get turned on by that.
Yeah.
So we use that. So that's my creative process, and also it's on the fly. Anything I want the dialogue and everything. So I'm kind of like a surrogate dom when I'm doing it. I'm in it mentally, and I'm watching it, and at the situation arise, I would say this, and that's what they're gonna say right there on the spot, or do this right now. It just it's ad-libbing, and it's just exciting, and it's fresh, and you go, wow, that was great. But then sometimes it doesn't happen. But a lot of time I'm very lucky that it works for me.
It's the freshness. I know with the site that I run, it's the freshness when you get somebody who you can see there's a lot of cool, and they really enjoy what's going on. Oh, that's really hot.
Yes.
So you basically have a framework that you work with, but you have opportunity for ad-libbing and whatever else happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a short outline, and then sometime after I speak to the model, then I realize, well, he's not capable of doing any of this. So now let's just do it on the fly. Figure out something to do. Just be creative right on the spot.
Yeah.
It's kind of nerve-wracking, but it's especially when with the Bound in Public. We have 50 or 100 people watching us as we we mess up. That's really terrible too. Same thing with Bound God. We do live show once a month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all. Have you seen any of our live show yet?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean sometimes things happen, and it's kind of nerve-wracking because you only get one take.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it's kind of interesting. I like that.
Another question?
Do you have any interesting behind-the-scenes anecdotes or stories to tell about?
Okay. Funny stories. Well, here's for example, right here in this room with this hook. Nick Moretti was flogging DJ. He was suspended on this hook, and I told him, okay, just beat him really hard, and then slam him against the wall. And Nick said, okay. So then he flogged him really hard, and then he grabbed his whole entire body because these hooks
They slide back and forth.
slide.
Yeah.
So he's
he's
grabbed
hanging
by
on
the
the
body
hook, right?
and then just slammed him up against the wall, and he just went flying 15 feet that way.
Yeah.
And he banged himself in the wall, and I go, wow, that's hot. But then I couldn't use it because then Dick went like this, like that. He cringes on camera. I go, oh no, that would have been, I can't redo it because I couldn't have DJ slam against the wall the second time.
Right. The
So-
first time it's got all the energy to it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh no. And another one is that I have a lot of sometimes in my comments, members go, I'm getting tired. You keep on training these guys. Why you keep on training guys? Why don't you bring on some real lifestyle? Get them in here and tell these kids, show them what to do. So I try that for a month. I bring out these local BDSM guys, who's
From the community.
there's nothing against them, but sometimes it's just playing in real life and doing stuff for video is a total different world.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. So, this guy, I've been in BD, he's a young guy, he's like, in his mid-30s, and I've been doing this for 10 years, and, I'm flogging, cropping and all that. Yeah, of course, yeah, I say, okay, cool, hot, you're mid-30s, perfect for our site. And I got him in, and this guy got tied up, and okay, now just go ahead and flog him, okay? And I'm not a believer in flogging him again, and just go to it, just go at it.
Pour it on
Yeah.
fast and hard.
So he flogged him, flogged him like that. Okay, now I said, good. Now how about some connection? Stop and rub his body, and then he go, oh, okay, and then stopped. And then he put the thing around his arm like this, and it was like dangling like he was holding a purse. And he's rubbing it. I said, okay, thank you, shoot done. Thank you, we're done for the day.
That's all we're doing.
Yeah, so the whole thing out of that is just that sometimes it's just what we do, and it's different with video. That's all. It's a whole different technique because you got an adrenaline going. You keep it moving. You keep it exciting. But when we play in real time, we have all the time in the world, right? And take our time. But that's boring on video for
On
people.
video, that just goes on for hours. You're
Yeah,
like falling
exactly.
asleep. Yeah, because you're
So-
not part of the scene. You're like a third party watching the scene. Yeah,
Yes.
so you got to keep the
So
energy up.
that's pretty much my stories.
Yeah.
I have more, but
Well, thanks so much. We were talking about, you had mentioned something about touring the place, or if we could look at the other studios or whatever, that would be really great.
Great.
Okay, thank you so much. And Mel, you come back here to San Francisco every once in a while. You're talking about coming back for Dory Alley or something, right? So maybe we'll see you again. And so we'll see. This video will be up on Metal's site and on the Serious Male Bondage site in the next month or so. And so stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Bye.